Starting this stream late, past Q1 now into Q2. This is the very first stream for the Season 3 Tier 2 kickoff on F1 2021. A lot of familiar faces from last season. I'm currently riding on board with Fatal Nation, who is one of the returnees from Tier 2 last season, Season 2. Definitely was starting to pick up his pace and racecraft towards the end of the year, so it'll be interesting to see how it carries out. And without further ado, let's ride with us on board for first lap of Q2. That'll be a bit of a mishap. let's jump over to Table Squish, who is also on his... Actually, this is right on board with the Williams of ETSR Randy. He's also a returnee for from Tier 2. He didn't race for the second half of the season. He switched over to another league to prioritize that for a little while, and he's back. Actually, it might not have been another league, it might have just been other obligations, but he's back in the seat, piloting the Williams. Interesting play. He is on medium tire right now, so he must think that he has the pace in order to get into Q1 with those mediums, and there's always a good chance that you can just squeak by. You never really know. Didn't quite hit that apex very well, but that puts him P1 with the 127.2. I imagine the times are going to go a lot quicker there. Towards end of Q1, I think we saw 25.2s from some of these guys in Tier 2. Table Squish also on the mediums. He crosses the line at 27.2 as well. UK Morrow starting his lap. He is also a returnee from Tier 2 Season 2 as well. UK Morrow, it was also one of those drivers who was really picking up his pace towards the end of the season. He always had the pace, just ran into a bunch of incidents at the start of the season. His qualifying pace was kind of putting him in the mid-grid, so it's kind of you never really know what you're going to get when you're in the mid-grid. Often end up with a bit of wing damage or just stuck in traffic for a really long time. You can't really fight your way too much through the field, so it'll be interesting to see how he does this season. New game. Don't really know what anyone's pace is when it comes to new games like this. I can speak for myself. I'm definitely not at the pace that I was at the end of F1 2020. So Leocritus sets a 26.7. He is a driver that was in Tier 3 last year, so he's made the jump up to Tier 2 and is currently on the leaderboard for Q2 at least. UK Morrow goes a bit deep there. That probably took a lot of time out. Couldn't get the traction down there, but he puts him down of 27.3 on the mediums as well. Let's jump over to Numeral Rex. Numeral Rex was I think he ended up finishing 4th, around 4th in the Drivers' Championship in Tier 2 last season as well, so definitely has the pace there. Just going to put on the tire compound here for everyone. So Watto goes with 27.1 on the mediums, so he is... you know, it's actually very, very tight on the mediums right now. I kind of think that if more people put on the softs, they'll go for their final lap. They'll throw the soft compound too within the last few minutes, and they can always back out if they need to. But Numeral Rex rounds the final corner here. He is on the mediums as well, and where does he put himself? He puts himself with a 26.9. So there you go. Numeral Rex carrying over the form from last season. 26.9 on the mediums for Tier 2. That's a great time, and he might be able to actually hold on to that without worrying about going out again. Jumping over, we have LDT Davey on the mediums as well, and the Alpha looked like he ran wide there. For whatever reason, it didn't invalidate though. I would question if they have strict on. That's usually always an invalidation. But anyhow, LDT AVE puts down, he definitely backed out of that lap then. I don't know if he's new to the league or maybe was promoted from Tier 3 or Tier 4, but he's driving Tier 2 this season, so he must have the pace. Let's find out. touched that curb, which is now a new curb of death. It is brutal to go over top of it. I can't really explain it from one season to the next. It makes absolutely no sense as to how difficult it is. I'm going to jump on board with Arbs, who is also a kind of a tier 2 powerhouse last season. He had a stretch where he wasn't picking up points, but when he was driving in the points, he was very consistent. He's a very, very quick single lap pace driver. He's usually qualifying really well all the time. He's on the mediums and he pilots the AlphaTauri this year, so let's ride on board AlphaTauri. Always a great looking car. He took a lot of curb there. I'm sure that'll take about a tenth or two off of his time. Let's see if he hits the apex here, and he hits it pretty well. He's able to get down on power pretty quickly. Opens the DRS and crosses the line with the 27-1 as well. Yeah, the medium runners are medium tire compound. They are all running within a couple tenths of each other, so it's actually looking like a great little field here. Jumping over to Bashful Carton, sorry. The Aston Martin, what a great looking car. He, as well, I do not think he's either new to the league or he was in Tier 3 or Tier 4 last year, so he's not a returnee for the Tier 2, but he must have shown pace in order to be able to jump up, and he's in Q2, currently setting his first lap of the session. Goes a bit deep there, manages to get on the power alright though, opens up the DRS and crosses the line with a 27-1 on the soft compound, so there's room for improvement there. We'll see if he goes out again. Looks like Fatal Nation just jumped up there with a 27-1, he's on the softs. We have Daromus, he's going very slow, so we'll jump over. Golden Egg Fryer, looks like he might be starting. He's in the Haas, goes very deep on turn 1. He might be backing out already. Yeah, he's backing out. TDA Danrush, I believe he is actually a promotion from Tier 3 to Tier 2. Unless he was just a reserve last year, I'm not too sure, but he's getting ready on his outlap. He's piloting the Red Bull. He has the soft compound on there. LDT Davey is pushing really hard on an outlap. Not the best use of tire, but who am I to say? Starts his final lap here. Probably, if he needs to back out, he can always back out. He should have enough time for 2 laps. He was a little bit cautious, could have taken more curb there, but regardless, he was able to get his power down. Short shifts up to gear 4, gear 5 there to get some more grip here. Runs a bit too much curb there, that'll unsteady the car, and he'll put himself onto that curb that none of us likes. Short shifts up to gear 3 to get some traction down there. This is a pretty good lap so far. Let's see if he hits this. He stayed in gear 3, which probably doesn't help with the rotation, but that wasn't overly horrible. He's back. Takes a bit too much curb there too. Stayed in gear 5, which is interesting. He's going wide here. He had to kind of catch himself. It says he put down a purple second sector. Either there's crazy track evolution right now, or the glitch carried over from last year, which is entirely possible. Hits that pretty well, except for he gets on the curb, which never helps with the traction. Opens up the DRS. He crosses the line with a P1 25.4. That's actually a really great time for Q2. So he clearly has the pace. It was a very unorthodox lap. Wasn't the cleanest, but gets the job done. He moves up there. Arv's decided to stay on the medium compound. He's hoping that he is going to get through. ETRSR Randy also sets a purple second sector. He's flying right now. Coming around the final corner, hits that apex pretty well. Short shifts up to gear 4 for a bit more traction. Throws open the DRS, and he goes P2 with a 125.9. So 5/10 gap between Davey and Randy on the same tire compound. That's pretty crazy, actually. Poor Spence, who is starting his final lap now, actually. A bit cautious through there, but good traction. That's a safe bet. It's a traction through here. I think he slowed down quite a bit. He's really, really cautious right now. Bit late on the short shift up to gear 3. That's okay. Comes in the tricky corner. Stays in gear 2. Bumps it up to 3 and 4. DRS is open as he comes down the back stretch here. Kind of misses that apex right there. Horsepence, I haven't touched base on Horsepence either, but he is a returnee from tier 2. Horsepence is actually a great defender. He's really, really difficult to get around, so I can imagine him being another contender this season in tier 2 with the likes of Arvs, the UK Morrow, Fatal Nation, Numeral Rex. They should all be up there. Horsepence comes across the line with a 26.0, that puts him in P3. UK Morrow, the final on the lap, he's 8/10 up. He comes across the line with a 26.0. So some good final laps there. That's the end of Q2. And we move on to Q3. I didn't catch actually who was the other 5 drivers, if this lobby was full. I think it might have been full actually. I guess I could quickly check the race director. It didn't, looks like we actually might only, maybe we only have 14 drivers? This is honestly my first online lobby. I have not played a single bit of online on this game, so bear with me here if things are changed. Things have changed, and this is all new to me, but yeah. So looking at the top 10, it looks like Numeral Rex and Arvs got through on the mediums, as well as Watto just getting through. So both Aston Martins are up there. You have both Ferraris up there. Then a Red Bull, Aston Martin, Alpine, and both Alfa Romeos. Great to see. That was the car that I was driving last season, so great to see the Alfa Romeos carrying on their form into Season 3. Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad it's only a 14-person grid. If there were others, it would have been great, because there's a lot of talented drivers in Tier 2 this season that I'm quite excited to follow along with. And it's going to be a really action-packed and entertaining season for everyone to tune in. Just as a heads up too, if you guys aren't familiar with the RCRL, I'm not the main streamer or commentator. I'm just doing this because we weren't able to find someone else for this but this would not usually be streamed on my personal account. It would be usually streamed on the RCRL streams account, and you can find that. I think it's literally RCRL_streams. So give them a follow if you don't already, and that'll help carry on. And you can watch the whole championship unfold, and not my personal account. I mean, you can toss me a follow if you want on my personal account, but I'm pretty boring. Quite boring indeed. Alright, Q3 is underway, enough chit chat. We have UK Morrow. Oh, he's not even first out. What was I doing the entire time? Who's the first out? Was it Bashful? Nope. It was Watto. Nice. So Watto, didn't really touch base on Watto, but he is also coming back from Tier 2. And yeah, Watto's pretty quick. He had moments. He was riding in the, I think it was the Racing Point last season. And Tier 2 was kind of an interesting grid last season because it was pretty unpredictable from one race to the next. There was always, a couple of us who were up there within the top 5 most races, but the midfield battle was quite back and forth. Sometimes they would have a bit of a bad race, and other times they would be right up there challenging for podium. So it was a pretty entertaining season as well, particularly within the last 10 races. Everyone was vying for, top 3 in the championship. Watto coming around the first couple of corners there. He takes it pretty well. Got lots of traction through there. Bumps it down to 3. Quick up to 4 for traction. He avoids that curb entirely. A lot of drivers will actually take that curb, kind of run it wide. He goes a bit deep. He had to lay off the throttle there. I think he powered down a little bit too quickly. That's okay though. Gets good traction out. Coming into the trickiest corner in F1. Goes deep as well. Stayed in gear 2. I think you could have bumped it down to gear 1. Help with rotation a little bit more. Could have hit that apex a bit better. Coming up to climb the hill. Gear 4, gear 5 really quick. Doesn't let go of the throttle there. He had good traction. Comes around. He could have gone a bit deeper there. Let himself get a little bit more acceleration out of that corner. Approaching the final corner now. Misses the apex ever so slightly. That's okay though. That shouldn't kill too much time. Opens up the DRS and fires himself into a 125.7. Not too bad of a lap. Then we have actually his teammate Bashful Carton. Once again, I'm not too sure Bashful Carton's history within the league, but he comes around the final corner. He went a little bit deep. Opens up the DRS and he comes over a second back. UK Morrow with a 26.2, so he's 5/10ths back from Watto as well. Numeral Rex with 26.3, so there's a lot of time to still improve here. We have Horsements now coming across the line. Oh, sorry, that's actually to start his outlap. Leo coming across the line. Leocritus coming across and puts down a 126.6. And then I believe this is Arves who's approaching the final corner. It is. Throws open the DRS and he comes across with a 126.0. So they're trying to push into the 25s. Watto is the first driver to have done so. Now we have LDT Davey who actually jumps back into the pits. He must have picked up some damage or something. Cannot finish his lap. Teammate though, Horsebents, also stays in gear 2 there, bumps it up to 3, 4, 5. Also stays into gear 2. I'm going to quickly jump over to Randy. Randy coming across the line right now. He puts down a 26.4. And Watto jumps into the pits. Leo clearly goes deep there, that's alright. Horsebents 105.3 after sector 2. It gets a little bit scrambly there, but manages to catch it. Shouldn't lose that much time. Final corner. Tried to get a bit trigger happy right there, actually. Throws open the DRS though with a 126.8. I do not think he's going to be too happy about that. I know that Horseman's has more pace. Fatal Nation getting ready for a lap. LDT Davey, same thing. Leo just pits. Randy. Let's see how he takes this corner and we can get an idea if he's actually going for a lap again. No. Or at least I don't think so. Maybe. 0.079 down. 0.07 of a second off. I feel like he's gonna pit here. Yes, he is. Well, Rex jumps out the way. Horseman's actually looks to be going for another lap. No, the interesting thing about this new game too, for those who haven't played too much yet either, is the fuel savings is quite different than F1 2020. You can't bump it up to rich or qualifying fuel. Actually, it might have been hot lap fuel or something like that. I can't remember. He gets on the. Yeah, he's jumping into the pits. So Fatal Nation starting his lap here, goes through turn 1, catches a little bit too much curb there. Also catches too much curb, which is going to unsteady the car way too much, especially in that corner. The car's going to want to slide. Says that he set a purple first sector though. I mean, I could honestly be crazy and just not know my stuff, but I'll be shocked if that was a purple first sector. Gets pretty good rotation out of that. Managed to get the traction down as well. Goes a little bit deep, but manages to get the car back into the optimal line to climb the hill. Stayed in 4th there. It always helps to bump down to 3 really quickly and then back up to 4 for traction out of there. Coming to the final corner. I missed the apex ever so slightly. That's okay. Not going to affect it too much. And he improves just slightly. Now jumping on board with Davey, another Ferrari powered car. He definitely goes deep there. I think he'd probably want to back out and just go for another lap, but well, yeah, he's definitely backing out and going for another lap. Never mind, he jumps into the pits. So we have Randy starting his final lap here. Well, potentially final lap. Currently sitting P6 with a 126.4. I would say everyone has, not everyone, sorry, but from Bashful Carton to LDD to Davey, I think they all have, you know, about a second to improve by. Time is definitely there. I honestly think in Q1 I saw 25.2. Call me crazy, but I thought it was there. Someone might have just put together a really good lap. But let's find out. It kind of sounded like he actually got out of power right there, which is fine, but it will lose you a 10th or 2, but, you know, could have been losing traction. Misses that corner a little bit. which was forcing him to actually stay in Gear 3 for a little bit longer. He does improve by a whole 0.8 of a second though. So yeah, the time is definitely there. Everyone can improve by about a second. Moving over to Leo. Going down the final stretch to the final corner. Wow, he bumped down to 2. Oh, he must have wanted crazy rotation there. Bumping down to Gear 2, he improves by 0.3. So the improvement is there. Everyone is going to be putting together some faster times. Ours, he's starting his lap. Bashful, also approaching the final corner. Throws open DRS, and he is coming across at a 1:26.1. UK Morrow about to start his out lap. Ooh, looks like a little accident here. Not too sure what happened there. Leo's actually still out for another lap. Definitely goes deep there. He was 0.08 of a second up. I imagine he probably just lost it right there. Whoa, 0.3 up. Holy cow, that's a huge improvement. It's up to 0.2 up. But yeah, it's a pretty big improvement, moving him up to P6. UK Morrow, 2.5 up. Oh, 0.6 up. Oh, he had to get, man, commentator's curse, I spoke too soon, that was bad. Purple second sector, and he was 0.6 up, and then he stepped on a little bit too quick, fastest lap. I don't think so, man. Oh, just misses out. But that's a huge improvement. 0.7 in a single lap. Track evolution is crazy around here, clearly. In LDTV, and he puts it on pole with a 125.4. There you go. LDTV new to Tier 2 at least, and he puts himself on pole. And there you have it. The end of qualifiers, and we're about to jump into the race. I imagine the race is going to have its ups and downs, as it always does in this game, but I'm incredibly excited for Tier 2 this season. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of returning drivers, we have a lot of new faces, and we have a lot of people that were in Tier 3 last year who got the promotion up to Tier 2, so it's going to be a fun one. And, yes, stay on board while you can. Just waiting for everyone and their mum here for the lobby to start. You know, it's especially awkward now because so many drivers have either the Xbox Series X or Xbox Series S, which this game is optimized for, and it's a bit heavier than last year's game. However, there are also still a lot of drivers who are either using the original Xbox or the Xbox One S, and you end up sitting in a lobby for so much longer because the game is heavier, and not everyone has the new wave of Xboxes, and granted they're hard to find and they're expensive, so you know there's no worries there, but just makes it you have to be a little bit more patient on waiting for a lobby to start. Now, formation lap kicking off, LDT Davey leading the way, followed by Guado, UK Maro in the Alpine, ETSR Randy in the Williams, Arvs in the AlphaTauri, Emo Rex looking good in the Ferrari, Bashful Carton 93 driving the Aston Martin, which, gosh darn it, does that car not look sweet. Leocritus in the Red Bull, the livery that just keeps giving. Fatal Nation piloting the other Scuderia Ferrari. So you have two Ferraris in the top 10. Horse Fence rounding out that top 10 in the other Alfa Romeos. So both Alfa Romeos, both Aston Martins, and both Ferraris are on their way to a double points finish. I just saw Fatal Nation leave, so I'm going to offer him a quick invite back here. Table Squish in the top 11. He will start on the mediums, which is a very advantageous tire around this track. It gives him the option for a... I mean, everyone can potentially do a single stopper. Softs can last you to about 9 laps, and then you can switch on over to the hard compound. The hard compound, it lasts a long time in this game. I think you can probably do about 22 laps comfortably around Bahrain on the hard compound. The only issue though is that they just don't have the best grip, and especially around the high speed corners, you kind of have to either stay maxed out in the lower gear or back off the throttle in the higher gear. So it's, you know, it's really up in the air for strategy. I would even go as far as saying a soft medium strategy could be just as fast as a single stopper. But let's jump up to the top of the grid here. LDT Davey leads the way, kicking off, powerful start. He's clearly in the lead. We got some zigzagging going on in the background. Let's see, watch out for any carnage. Clean so far, everyone trying to give room. This is where it kind of gets a little bit sketchy. Probably some track warning limits, but everyone seems to actually have gotten out of there A-okay. Randy and UK Moro jockeying for position. One of them's going to have to back out. That's a high speed and dangerous corner to try and fight around. People trying to avoid the curbs there. It looks like a handful of drivers were actually able to join late. One of the Mercedes was ghosted, not too sure why. Fatal Nation, he's dropped down a couple of positions. He's going to want to jump back up. Sorry, I'll quickly throw that in here. So Fatal Nation just drops down 4, ETSR Morgan jumps up 7, and LDT Davey Davey looks to have gone for a spin. He goes from 1st to 16th. That is really unfortunate for him. It also looks like he took damage. Oh, no. Looks like he actually managed to stay damage free. UK Morrow now with the lead, followed closely by Randy. Randy, let's see if he tries to go around the outside. Nope, he's going to do the switch back. Major glitch up front. Randy got a great run and just had to back out of the throttle there. That would have been such a great run, but he remains 2/10 back. He has DRS now. UK Morrow goes a bit deep, but that corner, it allows you to go deep. The race is on with Randy pushing the Alpine around the track. And they've built up a huge gap to Arves already. Leocritus falling really closely to Arves. He's gained 4 positions, so that's a big position jump. Numero Rex trying to catch up, stay within the DRS section, or DRS zone. And Bashful Carton up a single position, probably because Davey went for a little bit of a spin, but he is also within 4/10 with DRS, and Numero Rex actually fell out of DRS zone right there, so Numero Rex didn't have DRS. That allows Bashful to get even closer. Randy, 3/10 back now, he's up 2 positions. And Horsebens looks like he was about to go up the inside on Duromis, but backs out there. He's going to have a good run on the back straight here. Duromis on Bashful, just 1/10 back. Gotta be cautious. You know, you gotta be cautious when you're that close, but when you have someone that close behind you as well, they can easily dive up the inside because you're kind of limited to the person in front of you. Looks to be some jockeying going on here. Davey already making up a handful of positions, and we have people pitting. That is likely due to damage. So it'll be interesting to see the tire strategy that they go on. Golden Egg Friar being pushed around the track. He is actually on the hards, which is very interesting and bold strategy. Let's see if Davey gets it stopped in time, which he does, and he's around the Haas. Blue Flame is still ghosted, not too sure why he is ghosted this entire time. Jumping back here, the fight continues in Horsebens. Horsebens manages to get around Bashful. Oh, and Table Squish tried to go around the outside there. Bit of a wheel bang there. They both have DRS. Bashful might be able to get away without getting past this time around. Numero Rex and Duromis having a good fight. They're going to want to back out with the throttle there. They're starting to swerve around. On the medium, oh, whoa, up the inside goes Morgan. And if I remember correctly, Morgan is actually a great driver. I feel like he could have been a tier 1. Like, I feel like he could have, whoa, almost lost it though. I feel like Morgan could have been tier 1 reserve. But I did tune into some ETSR races last season, and he definitely has pace, so I'm a little bit surprised to see him in tier 2, but we'll see how that plays out. Jumping back over here, we have Arves trying to hunt down Leocritus in 3rd place for that position. He's probably going to want to do so because UK Morrow and Randy are really, big side touch there. Leo manages to hang on. Now the issue too is that there's also side barge damage as well, so every time that someone... Yeah, it looks like Leo might have actually picked up damage because he doesn't have the greatest rotation right now. You can kind of see that. He's going a little bit wide on each corner. And you can't even really repair side damage, and I don't know. I like a new damage model, but I don't particularly like that they introduced the side damage because you can't repair it in a race, and if you get side damage, the likelihood is that it was not your fault. It's likely because someone turned in on you, like that right there. Leo basically had to dive out of the way because Duromis just cut through, took that line, even though Leo's nose was still there. So, anyhow, I digress. I'll get back to racing here. We have Davey making up positions, passing Bashful on the back. Davey clearly has extremely fast race pace. And Horsebent picking up a penalty. It looks like he exceeded track limits, but he's trying to jump back into the thick of things, hunting down Leo now. Leo, if he does have damage, you gotta feel for the guy. Donkey Webb sets the fastest lap, and he is playing catch up because he did have to pit. Morgan making up 14 positions at this point, and okie dokie, that might be a penalty. Well, if Doromus wants to clip that, he has my stream to do so. That's too bad. But that let Leo and Horsebents jump right through, so Leo's back into the podium position with P3, and Horsebents chasing down that Red Bull in the Alfa Romeo. Looks like Arves might have had a little bit of a mistake because he's dropped 3 seconds back to UK Morrow. UK Morrow carrying the pace over from last season. I told you guys, like, UK was always there, just unfortunately would run into trouble. And, but no, as soon as he has clear air, he's good to go. That's a jockeying here. It looks like Morgan picked up some damage, so he's going to jump into the pits, get a wing change, and what tire compound does he put on? He goes with soft, so he's going to do a 2-stopper. With that wing change, it's going to drop him back, but softs are so fast here, I wouldn't be surprised if the 2-stopper puts him right back into contention for, well, points is a given, but I would say he reaches the top 5. And Arves, oh no! What just happened to Arves? He must have hit the curb. And that's a safety car, and man, Morgan probably pretty upset that he pit. Wow, that is really too bad. Arves definitely, I would say, hit that curb. He was 3 seconds back and didn't have too much trouble from behind him either, so. The first AlphaTauri is retired, and the second AlphaTauri has had to pit at a very untimely time. Following UK Morrow, he comes into the final corner, and UK Morrow is going to have to make the decision. I mean, he is on softs and it is lap 6, so he'll definitely want to pit, but will he want to pit, put on an extra pair of softs or medium, and then go for the 2-stopper, or try and make his hard compound last? Now, if he goes hard, though, he's going to have a lot of drivers coming up from behind him. And it looks like he's doing the 2-stopper for the softs. And Numeral Rex staying out there, which he does have the mediums on, so that kind of makes sense. Quickly, sort of position change. Oh man, looks like Horsebents got held up at the pits big time there. But Horsebents goes, what kind of camera is this nonsense? Weird. So, a lot of change in position here. Numeral Rex staying out there, Blue Flame staying out there, 6 laps on the mediums. They're gonna bunch up again. The first of the pitters, UK Morrow, he's going with the 2-stopper on the sauce. He's going to want to power past Numeral Rex and Blue Flame as soon as possible. Otherwise, that tire compound choice is just not going to make a difference. Now, having said that, he does have an advantage here because Blue Flame, for whatever reason, is still ghosted. And that means he can late brake, he can pick up DRS and drive right through the car. He has that advantage. I don't know why Blue Flame's car, must be some sort of connection issue, but it has been ghosted this entire race. Horsebents with 3-second time penalty. He chose the hards. He's the first person in that slew of pit stoppers under safety car to go with the hards. He's going to want to defend pretty hard against Golden Egg Fryer, especially since Golden Egg has those 6-lap-old hards, which are essentially mediums at this point. Leo choosing the 2-stop as well. He puts the mediums on, so he's going to finish the race on the soft compound, barring nothing else happens in the race. And it's an interesting strategy, because if he is able to maintain DRS and keep up with everyone else in front of him, it's an interesting strategy. I think I would have gone soft, medium. Softs allow you to get in front of everyone way faster. You can build that time gap so that when you do pit again for those mediums, you at least have a little bit of a gap to buffer that out. Table squish in the McLaren. They're having a tough go this weekend. Currently in 7th, he has the hards on. Big news from McLaren today. They are officially the main stakeholder of Aero McLaren SP in IndyCar, with Felix Rosenqvist and Pato O'Ward as their 2 drivers. So that's actually pretty exciting. It's big commitments from McLaren. They want to stay in IndyCar, and they are putting on a show this year. So McLaren having a great season, not just in Formula 1, but in IndyCar as well. If anyone isn't entirely familiar with IndyCar, which a lot of people aren't in the UK, which is totally fine, they should check out the race today. It's actually in a few hours, so it might be a little bit late by the time it starts for you guys, but it is a very entertaining race to watch. It's on a new track. It is a new track this year as well, so not a lot of drivers are familiar with it. You have Romain Grosjean, who's starting, I think he's starting P6 based on qualifiers. So Romain Grosjean, he's in the thick of it. He's right there. You have the young sensation Colton Herta, who he's just so fast. He finished in qualifiers a second faster than the second place driver. He is just so quick. He truly understands the pace of that car. But tune in if you can. They're a lot of fun. Someone just took damage on the safety car lap. That's a 5-second penalty with Morgan from Davey. So Davey probably picked up some damage there. Or Morgan. Oh, no. So Morgan ran into the back of Davey and picked up that damage, and we are underway. So immediately UK Morrow attacks Blue Flame, goes right around him. Oh god, it must be, I guess it's the AI. It might be the AI then. Anyhow, UK Morrow and Numeral Rex fighting side by side. Davey is DNF. He is straight into the wall. I saw him back there. Might have actually just gotten trigger happy and hit the curb, or someone else bumped into him. But UK Muro takes the lead from Numeral Rex. He is on the sauce. Numeral Rex was on 8 lap old mediums. He clearly had the advantage. There's a big slew of cars behind him, all within a second. Morgan's dropped back by a second, and that's because of the damage. And same goes for Fatal Nation. Fatal Nation has damage. Philosopher doesn't appear to have damage, but dropped back. The Hearts, they're a difficult tire to get familiar with. But anyhow, jumping back, UK Morrow building up a huge gap to Numeral Rex. Horseben's trying to chase down Numeral Rex. Golden Egg overtakes Blue Flame, so Blue Flame, I mean, I can try and see if I can send him an invite here. Disregard that. Turns out Blue Flame is a rando, so he is not even supposed to be in there. You have Morgan and Fatal Nation pitting, and unfortunately they also probably just served a 5-second time penalty, which means that they can't get that erased at the end of the race, which is kind of crappy. I wish you could choose to serve it or not, but this game does not let you jumping back into it. Big switch up here. Wow, look at this action. ETRSRND trying to go around the outside. Looks like that's the smarter play. Might have taken a warning there, but I digress. He jumps back into it. He's on Donkey Web. And he's actually being chased down by Dromus, who in turn is being chased down by AI. It's pretty quick AI, but anyhow. Another... I think that was Fatal Nation. I think it was, yeah. Tough day for Fatal Nation. That is too bad. DRS is activated, so Horse Fence is going to have a run on Numero Rex here. Man, I need water. This is way too much talking. It's like 10 in the morning for me. Anyhow. Really, really great traction now there. Opens up the DRS. Let's see if he can gain. Numero Rex probably plowing through his ERS. Although they're both 4% more, so Horse Fence has a slight advantage of ERS at the moment. UK Morrow taking off. This is exactly what UK Morrow wanted because it allows him to build up that gap for the two-stopper, throw on the mediums in about, 5 to 6 laps, and finish off the race on a faster compound. Back to Horse Fence, throws open the DRS, punches the ERS, gaining. The slipstream, actually in F1 2021 too, the slipstream and DRS is so much more powerful than last season's, which kind of makes up for the fact that we can't change fuel mid-race. So there's that advantage as well, which helps with the overtakes. You should be able to very easily get past Rex here. Numero Rex is going to want to try and make sure he doesn't get too far ahead so that he can now ride in his DRS. Build back up his ERS a little bit and give it an attack in a couple of laps. Although he is on the 11 lap old medium, so they're probably starting to go, and that's why he's having a hard time getting traction out of the corners. Horse Fence 4 lap old cards now. They're nice and warmed up. It takes a few laps. It does take a few laps for Hearts to get warm, but Horse Fence clearly got that underway. And if Table Squish can... Table Squish looks to be potentially ghosted as well. And I'll see if I can send him an invite. Just give me a second here. Alright, invite sent, so hopefully that helps. Leocritus makes the move on Table Squish, so hopefully he's able to get back in. Leo's ERS down to a low 13%, and he's going to kill a lot of it on the front stretch here. Table Squish looked like he was back in the game very, very briefly. Numero Rex dives into the pits. He was done with those 12 lap old mediums. Fair enough, I would be too, but he doesn't have to stop again. He's going to come out. Is Dan Rush gonna buy him too? Yes, he is. So he should come out in front of Morgan here, who's gonna be trying to push as hard as possible. Looks like he's having an issue. Oh, safety car. Who crashed? Who crashed? This is gonna be so interesting. I don't know who crashed. Could have been Watto? I don't know. Watto's in P18. I have no clue. That's super annoying. Engine glitch. I'm going to be very curious to see what UK Morrow does here. I think he might want to pit and put on the hards if I were him. Yeah. And I think Horsepence is going to take the lead of the race here. Leo should probably pit as well. Leo! Stays out on 13 lap old hards. He's going to be a sitting duck. Bashful stays out as well. Donkey stays out on 10 lap old medium. So some. I don't know who their engineer is, but they probably should have told them to come in. Numeral Rex is going to be kicking himself because he quite literally pitted the lap before. Or the lap during, actually. So. Woe is Numeral Rex. He could have maintained quite a few positions if he had stayed out one lap longer, but that's the name of the game. You never know. Man, you have gotta love that Alfa Romeo car. It looks so good. I wish I was driving Alfa Romeo this year. I was Alfa Romeo last season, and it was a fun car to drive. I love the sound of it as well. I'm a big fan of the Ferrari engines in this season, or sorry, in this game. I absolutely despise the majority of the other cars' engines. Actually, quite literally sounds like there's a vacuum going on in the background. Alfa Romeo's is more, I mean, it still has that whistle to it, but it's a little bit more tolerable, same as the Ferrari. I haven't driven the Haas. Well, I guess I could hop over and have a listen. Yeah, it sounds similar. Safety car in this lap. Horsepence is going to get us underway with the 7 lap old hards followed by the 7 lap old mediums. So Leo, by choosing to stay out, Leo is going to be forced to make a very, very quick overtake on Horsepence. And if he doesn't, holy cow, come on, they need to let the safety car get in. Oh, bad jump by Leo. He's going to get overtaken really, really quickly. Oh, it's going to be risky. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Whoa. That was actually really, really respectful and good driving from the two of them there. Leo managing, even with that, managing to stay within a couple of tenths. And it looks like someone is falling down the order. UK Morrow gets a huge sidebar bash by Bashful Carton, and Morgan is retired. I really hope that doesn't bring out another safety car, but is that damage on UK Morrow? Doesn't look like it. Could be invisible damage though. Leo being chased down by Table Squish, followed closely by Golden Egg Fryer and Donkey Web. Bashful Carton with a couple of banged wheels against UK Morrow. UK Morrow dropped down to P7 as a result. Randy falling out of DRS zone. He's going to want to get back up there, and he has. Out of the 18 drivers, we have lost 5 of them, and one of them is an AI that's still in the race. Golden Egg chasing down Donkey. He's gonna have... Wait a second, DRS isn't open yet. What am I talking about? He's gonna try and go around the outside. Oh, but the switchback, however, Bashful was going up the inside. No harm done, but yeah, you have to always be mindful. If you're going to try doing the switchback and you have someone close behind you, doing the switchback opens up the door for someone to go up your inside. And the switchback is an awesome move, but just not something to do when you have someone close behind you. Table Squish trying to take advantage of Leo's aging mediums. I think at this point the mediums are starting to degrade more than they are maintaining their compound, and now Leo's going to be in a situation where he's going to be losing so much time to horse bends, and everyone else is going to start bunching up behind him, that this two-stopper strategy that he decided not to take under safety car is going to start kind of biting him in the butt a little bit, because at this rate he pits now and he's going to be well behind the last place driver. DRS is enabled. Table Squish close enough behind Leo that he will get DRS on in sector 2. Donkey close behind. Opens up DRS on Table Squish, but Table Squish gaining on Leo, but not this time. He's going to have to back out and just try again on the back stretch here. Bashful takes a 3-second time penalty for likely track limits. Leo gets squirrely, gets very squirrely. Once again, Table Squish trying for the switchback on Leo. Pretty good run on Leo here on this stretch, and he's going to go up the inside. He should be able to overtake Leo by the corner. He gets the car stopped. Leo's going to have a really good... Oh, Leo should have just kept going. He has Donkey Week super close to him in the background now. Bit of a lockup. Pretty good acceleration out of the corner. He's going to want to try and stay as close to Table Squish as possible, benefit from the DRS if he is going to stay out. The nice thing is Donkey Weave has 14 lap old mediums, whilst Leo has 10. Leo jumps into the pits though, enough is enough. Donkey Weave takes third. Leo is going to throw on, and let's see what Leo does, because this is tough. He goes with the medium, so he probably did a soft medium strategy. He's gonna have quite a bit of pace for the end of the race, but he is dropping back really far, so I think the decision to stay out during the second safety car is ultimately nail in the coffin for him. Horseman's continues to lead the way. Table Squish is going to want to start making up that gap. They're both on 11 lap gold parts though, and their pace is going to drop off significantly over the course of the next 10 laps. Donkey Web, that's a hard one to say. 15 lap old mediums, staying within Squish's DRS. UK Morrow's going to start to want to make up some ground as well. He ran into some trouble at the start of the second safety car restart, but he is now sitting in effectively P3 once Donkey pits, because he is not going to be able to push those 10 more laps on 15 lap old mediums. ETSR Randy staying within UK Morrow's DRS range. Randy should probably not push the overtake too much here and get him. You have UK Morrow's light flashing. Just wait an extra. Oh, we got a spin, and I will be right back. A third safety car now, so we are going to sit back, see what the, you know, I honestly think the hard runners should actually just dive in, throw some softs on, and just have at it for the last lap. So you're going to have not too many drivers in front if they do. Oh, actually, I guess the mediums here. There's 3 cars with fresh mediums on. But if they don't jump in the pits, advantage, major advantage for the likes of Leo, Golden, and Bashful. Let's see what Horseman's does here. Alright, I missed it, but looks like the safety car is staying out for another lap, and I am starting to get worried that I'm not going to make my Tier 1 race. No, I should be fine. I will just get 0 practice in beforehand. which is pretty on par for the course considering I've barely played F1 2021 so far, and I'm going to get my ass handed to in Tier 1 this season. But, or maybe not this season, but this race for sure. I think I said it at the start of this stream, but I have played 0 online races. I did my very first actual race just against 110% AI last night, and it was awful. So I am in for a tough time. Now, jumping kind of back into strategy here, we had Table Squish, Donkey, and Randy throw on fresh softs, so they are going to be flying for the last 7 laps here, which means Horse Benz with 14 lap old hards is going to be a sitting duck in comparison. And you know, we basically have all point finishers except for one person in the race at this point. Keep in mind, PWW Blue Flame is just a random. He was not supposed to be in the lobby, but he managed to sneak on in there before the race started. It is just his AI driving though, which is good. So everyone can pass him, and hopefully they do by the time this race finishes. So at the moment you have 11 drivers, which means only one driver is going to miss out on the points if all goes well for the safety car restart. Horse Fence, if the safety car is coming in this lap, you can slow down quite a bit, man. Chill. Let the safety car really get in, back that up, and then jump start everyone. Too close. I really hope you're listening to me right now. There you go. Yeah, Bahrain is kind of an awkward restart because of how that is. UK Morrow, great restart. Horse Benz with a great restart. It really caught UK Morrow napping. Numero Rex instantly overtakes him and goes deep, which allows UK Morrow to get... Oh, that's too bad. UK Morrow had to back out there, which actually is presenting Table Squish with that opportunity that Table Squish needs on this soft compound. He's going to go up the inside, late break. Wow, really respectful driving for Numero Rex right there, actually. Just completely got out of Table Squish's way. Table Squish didn't even... He late broke, but those soft tires were able to stop on a dime. ETSR Randy taking immediate advantage of the soft compound as well, jumping up a position, same as Donkey Whip. He's going to need to get around Numero Rex now as fast as possible, and then chases on Table Squish, leading the way on the soft tire compound runners. Horse Benz, 9/10 ahead. He's going to want to try and actually, I would use all of his ERS right here. And just try and, oh no! I spoke too soon. That's okay, he caught himself. Really nice catch. That's too bad though. Really too bad. But this is gonna be an absolute soft compound shootout. Donkey Wave going very deep right there. He's gonna want to get within that DRS zone ASAP. Numero Rex could try and benefit as much as possible from the fighting of the softs in front. But he drops out of DRS range. That's too bad. Donkey Weeb Web with Horse Benz on the follow. Bashful Carton. Oh, Donkey picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's too bad. Horse Benz gaining. And then you have Leo, Bashful, and Golden Egg on the newer mediums as well. So they're going to be putting Horse Benz in quite a bit of pressure too. It's on 16 lap old hards. Now, the crazy thing about these 16 lap old hards is that they're probably still only at about 35 to 40% tire wear. The tire wear on this game for these hard compounds are just insane. Table Squish managing to get out of the DRS range of ETSR Randy, so that's going to be huge
Although, he's going to miss out here. Let's see if he can try and get into that slipstream and continue to use his ERS to get back within the second, so hopefully... No, Table Squish is flying. What wing is he using? He must be using like a 5-7 or something. I think the common wing around Bahrain would probably be a 6-8. Some people would probably use a 7-9. But to gain 2/10 on a straight without DRS while both of them are using ERS is pretty intense. Anyhow, jumping back into it, Donkey goes deep there again. He probably picked up another warning. He's already running. I think he has like 6 seconds of penalties. Let's just quickly check penalties for you guys. Penalties. Donkey with 11 seconds. Disregard. Table Squish with 5 seconds. Hopefully he's able to get that removed. And if you're listening, Table Squish, don't forget to screen capture your race director afterwards. Horseben's falling down the order, so these hards are not treating him particularly well. You have these medium runners in Golden Egg and Leo jumping up ahead, and they... What? What just happened? What's that? That was... Welcome to the Olympics. That was some synchronized swimming if I ever saw it. Both drivers catching the curve back to back. I can't believe that just happened. What the heck? I was about to say, Leo is running such a fantastic race for being his first race in Tier 2. And he touches the curb like that. Oh, man. I think I have commentated cursed this entire race. Alright, I am terribly sorry to both. Was it Randy who cut the curb in front of him? Or touched the curb in front of him? I think it was. Oh man, that is just horrible. Horseben's fighting it out with Golden Egg Horse on that hard compound. He's gonna have to give way to Phil here as well. And Golden Egg, what is going on? UK Morrow trying to make up that position, but Phil is just gonna have way better traction on those softs. Going the long way around. They're being respectful at the moment. Can he get the switch back? I don't even... he just doesn't have traction. You know, Table Squish might not even need to remove his 5-second time penalty because he has put on an absolute clinic. And Numero Rex on that hard compound, which is probably at around like 13, 14 laps now. Switch back over. 12 laps. Yeah, they're just not going to be able to hang on. Donkey trying to chase him down. He gets the DRS here. He's going to have a really good run. But he's not using any ERS at the moment. Might be because he has... I don't really know why he just dropped it into 7th gear there. And Numerex can't get the traction out. Bashful hunting Numerex down now, so Numerex is doing everything he possibly can to maintain that final podium spot. Luckily for Leo, he gets that DRS from the AI in front. He's able to get back up to... Oh, a TDA! Dan Rush was clearly going for a bit of a slide, got a little bit scared out of that corner there, and Leo jumps back into P8. That's 4 points for Leo. Hopefully he's able to hang on to that. And Horseman's has pit. Looks like he might just be going for that fastest lap. And tough day for Horseman's. He should be a championship contender this season. Table Squish about to start the penultimate lap, putting up a now close to 8-second gap. Yet Dan Rush getting past the AI of Blue Flame now. So Golden Egg Fryer, he's technically holding that final point spot right now. You have Randy chasing down Phil. good guy Randy with the 6-lap-old softs against Phil also with the 6-lap-old softs. They are going to be... This is going to be a good little battle here. Interesting to note too is Numero Rex has been able to hold on to the DRS of Donkey Web this entire time, so and he actually hasn't taken any penalties, so Numero Rex is actually sitting in net P2, and if I'm not mistaken, Bashful is sitting in P3 as well, so Donkey's going to drop quite a bit, and 11 seconds, that's quite a bit. I imagine that there's a 5-second time penalty that's going to be removed. Donkey, don't forget to screen capture your race director, but I imagine that he's probably sitting at about 6 seconds, and thus even Phil, who's being hunted down by Randy, is right there. He's 2/10 away from being out of that 6-second gap from Donkey. So if he keeps pushing and maintains this pace right now, he's going to jump into that final, or not final podium spot, but 4th place. And as I say that, ETSR Randy with the DRS overtakes him. But now, if Phil can fight back, he's going to try and going up the inside. He thinks better of it. Randy able to hold the position for now. And Donkey with another penalty, so that's just pushing him even further down. The final lap at the moment, and table squished with that 5-second time penalty. Doesn't even matter. Oh, yeah, it doesn't even matter. He is pushing and pushing. Horse Benz puts up the fastest lap with a 27.3. Numerex probably just wants to play it safe. Just take the P2 without fighting too hard. Approaching the last corner, table squish, rounding the final corner here, throws it into 4th, and your first Tier 1 race of the season winner, table squish, with an absolutely dominating performance, a whole 10 seconds ahead of Donkey. I think Donkey might have given up that penalty to position to Numero Rex. Numero Rex takes P2, followed by Phil due to penalties. Randy drops down to P5. Bashful takes P4. So you have both McLarens, and I can quote myself earlier on in this race. I said McLaren was having a rough day at the track, and now you have both McLarens sitting P1 and P3, so I'm gonna go eat my words. I know nothing about F1. Unbelievable that those guys were fighting to even get into the top 10, and now we're sitting P1 and P3. Fantastic drives from both drivers, managing to stay relatively penalty-free out of the carnage, and they pick up P1 and P3. And P2, P2 after quite the drive, quite the fight, Numero Rex. So, there you have it. How do I even do it? There we go. Table squish followed by Numero Rex. In third we have Philosopher. Bashful Carton 93, welcome to Tier 2. You pick up P4. Randy picking up P5 in the Williams. And UK Morrow managing to scrape away a P6 after a tough restart. Leo touching the curb of death, a full spin, and manages to pick up P7, followed by Donkey Web with the penalties, drops him all the way down to P8. Blue Flame is a AI, so just ignore that. Dan Roosh picks up P9, And rounding out the points is Golden Egg Fryer. Horsefence taking away any fastest lap points from everyone. He puts up the fastest lap. That's not going to be a point for him, but bragging rights, a 27.3, not bad. We go through here just in case. And finally, pit stops. Alright everyone, thank you for tuning in. I hope this commentary was okay. I do not usually commentate, so I just woke up. But thank you for tuning in to the first race of Tier 2 in RCRL this season. F1 2021 underway. We're so excited to get going. Tier 1 is about to kick off. They race in about 15 minutes time or so. Tune in if you can, and yeah, we'll see you again next week. Ciao.